I can say he should do to say he's done it all.
He won that championship.
Everything.
That was it.
Everything. He's done everything. He's scored a lot of assists.
The only thing that can cap off his career is becoming Mr. Basketball.
So why is it that when I watch Wild and Odom, did I feel like he's the best player? Every time I watch the Wild Odom play, I feel like I'm seeing something special. Like I'm seeing something that I'm not gonna maybe not see again. I said that for a long time. BJ Boston was my favorite high school player in Georgia. I don't get that feeling that I'm seeing something I'll never see again. It's the Love of the Game podcast. We here, we in the building, we're live. This is the Love of the Game pregame, Lemon Street Classic pregame. We here in the Lemon Street Classic Lounge. They got us set up, man. Everything good out here at Marietta High School. We are in a private location. Don't think we're just ignoring COVID protocol, dog. Like we got our own little setup out here. Lemon Street was nice enough to hook us up with our own little setup where we could go live and hook y'all up with everything that you need to know. If you miss Saturday, names were made on Saturday.
Yep.
It's some guys on Saturday that came out here and arrived basically like, yo, let the world know I'm here. Hey, let me in. I'm out here. And we'll get to all of that. Like, if you miss watching Evans and Lanier, the coming out party for Evans High School, you missed a game. You missed a game.
Yeah.
Right? But we're going to break down all the matchups from yesterday, man. We're going to talk about who Bryce felt like his top players were. I'll give you guys some of my top players, and then we'll get into the matchups for day two. Another exciting day. Like, a lot of times in day two, when you talk about tournament style, bracket play, like you don't really watch the people who lost on the first day. No, it's some good matchups with teams that lost their first game. So a lot of action going on. But Bryce, I'll ask you this. Did anybody outside of Evans, were you surprised by anybody else yesterday?
I was a little surprised that McEachern was able to still beat Heritage without Chance. So that was, for me, that was impressive. As usual, Randy Brady brings his grown man game, and Cam McDowell, they handle business. That was shocking to me. That was actually a good matchup as well. And you had Bobby Moore in that game, who was kind of a third party, and he added some nice dunks and some plays. But that was shocking to me because I figured that Heritage would have been able to go ahead and get them out of the way without Chance Moore. I was definitely shocked about Evans, and I think they caught Lanier by surprise. I think they snuck up on them, and they jumped on them early. And they
super early.
Yeah.
Like, they was trying to get Lanier out of here, bro. Like they was trying to get him out of here
early. And I think they started the game. I mean, they were probably up 15, 16 or something. Like they were up by a lot. Eventually Lanier kept chipping away. But that was probably for me the shock of the day from what I saw.
100%. Hey, shout out to y'all in the comments. We see you. Hey, man, look, Sly, I'm learning about that CRSA, man. Everybody going crazy. Evans showed that they are for real.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't wait to get over to the other gym to catch out Columbia Big Man Mason Lockhart. You already know we locked in. I wish I could have had them for 3 games. I would have put them in the top bracket, and we really would have got a chance to see what they could do. But I'll start with, while we talking about Columbia, I'll start with another DeKalb team. 2 DeKalb teams, actually. Miller Grove is good. Miller Grove is really good. When you have a point guard who doesn't turn a ball over, he doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right? Extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, he may end up with 8 points for the game or whatever. Mm-hmm. His assist number may not skyrocket, but when you're trying to pressure and he can consistently handle pressure and not turn the ball over and facilitate for his teammates, plays defense, talks all during the whole game, to me, point guards like that are hard, like, it's almost worse. Like, I would rather you just be scoring the ball and that's it than me have to deal with constantly you finding guys open, resetting the defense when you're supposed to. There's no shot clock this year in Lemon Street Classic. So it's like every time a set breaks down, he goes and gets the ball, pulls it back out, gets them in another set. It's like literally having a coach on the floor.
Yeah. And
then you have to deal with the guys from Miller Grove, the Zaire kid that can really score the ball.
Right.
So to me, Miller Grove looked really good, like coming off of a huge layoff, not getting the chance to play early. They showed me a lot. Tucker is still Tucker. Coach Hartree can still coach basketball. They're going to get out. They're going to run. They're going to pressure. They had a good matchup against Gainesville. Gainesville was the bigger team, had more size inside. Mm-hmm. But, man, Tucker just pressure. We're going to run. We're going to make threes. We're going to finish, challenger bigs. They're going to finish. Tucker did what they were supposed to do. Miller Grove did what they were supposed to do. The Cab basketball showed me that it's a lot of good hooping.
So I think Marietta, Lemon Street, I'm interested to see what they do against Discovery. I think they mixed their lineups up against Thurl, and they kind of got away with that, I think. I want to see if some of those kids or one of those kids they have is probably a mid-major, high-major kid, if he ends up starting this game and plays more minutes. So
it's weird for me watching that because, like, I'm here, right? Yeah. And I know all of those kids. Mm-hmm. So I try never to complain about lineups or even have conversations with coaches about who they play and who they don't play.
Right.
But it was odd sitting there in the stands with everybody else or with other evaluators or coaches, and everybody was a little confused.
Right.
So it told me, okay, Madre, your eye is not off. People are asking me. I had no explanation. But, hey, when you win big,
you win.
You win, and you take it, and you move on. And maybe that is the kick in the butt that some of those guys needed to get motivated.
Right.
Maybe, Coach Hood is just deciding to rock the boat a little bit after dropping a few games. Or maybe those are the guys that he feels like, hey, these are the guys that are going to give me a win.
And sometimes we don't know what kid plays better off the bench. And maybe that's the case for him. Maybe he feels like he provides a different spark off the bench. Maybe he brings in that size off the bench that he prefers, that he wants him to come off the bench. Maybe the kid he fouls. You know what I mean? So there can be different types of methods behind the madness, and that could be it. Maybe he's trying to save him from himself. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I do want to see how that plays out today. I think Marietta is they have a good young core, talented young core that I think they can make some noise in this day too as well.
They do. Someone asking what happened to Warner Robbins. Warner Robbins has some injuries, man. You lose your best player. He breaks his arm the Wednesday before you got to play Norcross. Like, it's tough. So
I was receiving text messages as well, and it was regarding the teams coming from the South, and the person texted me and said the teams coming from the South, for lack of a better term, suck. So
it was on my head,
and yes,
it was on my head about South Georgia,
and that wasn't a good representation. But then you have somebody like Evans, right? They're from the South.
They're from the Augusta area.
So right now, Evans is kind of holding it down, and I think they probably will. So
I mean, in Grovetown, it's not like Grovetown showed poorly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Grovetown played well.
Yeah.
Miller Grove is really good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Miller Grove's good, yeah.
In a different matchup, maybe Grovetown wins. Zach Bell shooting the ball way better than I expected to see him shoot it from distance. And like Grovetown has players, extremely well coached team. They played extremely well. They just lost the basketball game.
They lost the game
against a very good team.
So really the only one that looked a little wild was the Norcross
That was the only game that kind of got out of hand.
Yeah.
But like I said, you lose your best player. Like teams like that can't afford.
Kind of hard to bounce back.
Yeah, they can't afford that. Warner Robins can't afford to lose Greg Jones 2 days before you play Norcross. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then they're playing in the state championship for football, so you don't have
maybe a couple
the ancillary pieces that you need to compete, especially size-wise.
Yeah.
So I still feel like, look, Norcross did what they were supposed to do, right? You eat what's on your plate. But I don't.
Norcross is going to have a major test tonight.
100%.
So it's going to be that's going to be a game where we see what backcourt is the best. And I am also interested to see if Evans can step up to the plate when the lights are on too. So, and it's a great opportunity for those kids in that program to come in and play Norcross, who is Norcross, and they've won many state championships, and come in there and try to get a W. And we saw a lot of their players on day one get some videos and some recaps and some tweets because they played really well against a really good Lanier team. So another good test for them, and it will be good to see.
I think it's going to be really good, man. We got let me take a look at the schedule here. Well, actually, before we go there, I'm just going to call some kids' names real quick from yesterday.
Let's do that.
Let's make sure we show some love to some kids.
Can I give you my favorite? Can I give you my favorite one before you go?
Hey, go ahead, man. Go ahead, get it off me.
My favorite kid that I saw yesterday, the whole day, was
all day long.
All day long. Now, this is a big one. This is big because in order to be my favorite kid,
you had to do something.
You gotta be kind of special.
Okay.
Brazen James from Evans High School, 6'2" combo guard. He shot the lights out. I don't think he missed many shots. He was just fundamentally sound. He is a solid frame, well put together kid. But what was impressive to me was the kid caught the ball under the basket and dunked the ball 2 hands vertically without taking a step in the game. To me, that was very impressive. Now, of course, the shooting is, he didn't miss, but that to me, I was like, okay, so he's athletic too. So he was my overall kid. He's a 2022, I believe, 2022 kid. Class 2022, Evans High School. That was the one I saw.
I got a couple. I'm gonna go to Evans High School, and my kid would be Derek Story.
Okay,
6'3", 6'4" kid, 2022 kid.
Yep.
Listen, I know everybody from Evans is saying, what about Rashad? What about Justin Mincy?
Yes, Rashad is very good too.
Those guys are very good.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about those kids. Those guys are very good. Justin Mincy against Lanier reminded me of Sharif in this way because I know people are going crazy. In this way, facial expression never changed.
Yeah.
Lanier made a run. Andrew McConnell started making shots. Johnston Mincy just said, hey, everybody, move out of the way. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
We're fine. He's telling his teammates, we're good.
Yeah.
No, we're good. Just give me the ball. It's all good.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Johnston Mincy, layup. We're back up 10. Right? Like, I know he's good. I know Rashad is good. Derek Story, though.
Yeah. He was a spark plug.
Hey, man, when you talk about an X factor in a game, somebody that can change the game, shooting the ball, attacking, got a little off rhythm in the second half, but a very good kid.
So, but the thing is about Rashad King which was impressive to me, was I think if you didn't watch the game and if you just go look at the box score, you might think that he had a bad night. And in actuality, he had a really good night.
He had a good night.
He didn't force anything in transition. He got it done, with his little Euro steps, and he finished however he wanted to finish through contact. He didn't do too much, and he's 6'6". He's 6'6". I think he had a couple jumpers he knocked down. So just because, he might not have showed up with a big scoring night, He's very good. Very, very, very good.
Extremely good. My next guy that I would call out is let me go find his name. Where's my man's name on this roster? There it is. For Grovetown, Jay Gant. 6'7". All I do is rebound, block shots, run the floor, play defense. When you in a huddle and you need to win a game and you tell your kids, we got to get every rebound to win this game. We got to get every rebound. We got to get every 50-50 ball if we want to win this game. Jay Gant is the kid that you're talking to. Like, he's the kid that could come out of a game 15 plus rebounds in a game. He has that ability to do that. Elite motor. Everyone, we always talk about, do you have an elite skill set? Do you have a skill set that you're so good at that translates to the next level? He has an elite motor. That motor will take him far. I don't know what school, I can't say what level. He will need to continue to develop offensively as a threat, but he is a kid that you can plug in on any team. I don't care where you put him. 7A all the way down to single A private, any team where you put him, he's going to make the team better by what he brings energy-wise, effort-wise, intensity-wise on the floor.
So even though Lanier took a loss to Evans High School, I was still very impressed with Makai Vassell, 6'6", and I thought that was a good matchup between Rashad King and Makai.
For sure.
Now, Rashad King didn't have to do as much, I think, that night because his team was on. But you saw what Makai is capable of doing. He had 20 and probably 10 or so, 10 or more rebounds. So he was impressive. Elijah Phillips was also impressive going to the cup. And these are two dudes that really, honestly, not even just two, but that whole game was a bunch of kids that, had they played in my period, I think you see their recruitment on another level.
Andrew McConnell is still Andrew McConnell.
Andrew McConnell made one move from he pretty much dribbled around his back between his legs and did a reverse layup that I was like, okay, that looked like Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, he's the
same.
Level.
Yeah. So, I mean, just a lot of talent overall. Just a lot of talent.
And so I want to talk about some of these matchups, man. I want to get into the schedule because all of these guys have tough matchups for today as well. So when we talk about Grovetown, you have Grovetown with Zach Bell, Jay Gant that I just mentioned, going against Heritage, and that game kicks off in about 15 minutes.
Yep.
As good as Zach Bell is, right? As good as Grovetown is, who has the edge? Does Grovetown have the edge inside, or does Heritage have the edge from the guard spot? I'm interested in to see how that game is coached. I would think on paper that Heritage has to have the edge at the guard position. But can they handle Jay Gant inside controlling the glass? If he gets a lot of offensive rebounds, can they withstand that? If RJ and James White are, let's say they have an off first half and they don't get clicking early, does the disadvantage on the glass hurt them so much, or can Dash Boston somehow kind of help them enough to keep them in this game? Who do you think comes out in this one?
I'm going to go with Heritage in this one. I think they'll bounce back from the game against McEachern, and I think their guard play with RJ Nord, who's going to Elon, and James White, who's committed to Ole Miss, I think those two will outweigh what Grovetown is going to be able to come with, to counter with. So that's my pick. Going Heritage.
Definitely could go either way. I could see this is a tough third. When you talk about an event like this, that's the 12:30 game.
Yeah. First one.
Right. That's the first one out of you get Grovetown Heritage. That's the 12:30 game. On the other side of the bracket, At 12:30, you get Valdosta and Thero. I don't know much about Valdosta. I did get a chance to see this Thero team yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very young team with young
Scrappy.
teams. Very scrappy for sure. I always say, just keep it simple. It looked like to me that with Thero, you're playing the night game in this event. The media, the lights kind of maybe got to him a little bit with those young players. But I would just say, keep it simple. Believe in yourself. Keep playing hard. I felt like they gave the right amount of effort.
Yeah.
But it looked like they were kind of second guessing themselves.
They hung with Marietta for a long time. It wasn't like it was just, they just blew them out right away. It took some time, and they're going to play hard. They're going to compete. So I wouldn't be surprised either if they steal a W on today on day 2.
I would agree. The 2:00 game is Tucker versus Wayne County. I don't know much about Wayne County. I did see Tucker yesterday. Wayne County, you got your hands full. I don't know what you have, but you got your hands full with Coach Hartree and Tucker. Coach Hartree came into the gym yesterday breathing fire. I mean, he was on the officials. He was on the scorekeepers. He was on his players. Mm-hmm. He was like he might have been on the people at the concession stand yesterday. He came in breathing fire, like he was ready to go. Like he coached this game, like he coached yesterday's game against Gainesville like it was a state championship game. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine that Tucker comes out with that same intensity, gets a win versus Wayne County. But hey, I don't know what Wayne County has, so you never know. The 2:00 game in the second gym is what I really want to see. Columbia versus Gainesville. This is going to be a good game. Gainesville, I'm going to say this. Gainesville is one of the most well-coached teams that I've seen so far this year, as far as being disciplined, having some structure, running good stuff out of timeouts. Mm-hmm. Now, do they have the talent as some of the upper echelon teams? No, but they're not talentless. Yeah. They have pieces. They have players. But this matchup with Columbia, who you have a legendary coach. Mm-hmm. Now you have very, very good talent, an upgraded roster. I want to see what it is. I bet Gainesville is looking around like, hey, man, you gave us Tucker the first day, and now you give us Columbia the second day. Yeah. Like, what are y'all trying to do to us over here? But, I mean, that's the type of bump I feel like that you get when you come here. So, but that is one of the games that I have circled that I have to see today. Yeah. I'm picking Columbia.
I think I'm going to go with you on that one, too. I'm going to trust your word.
Discovery versus Lemon Street is our 3:30 in the main gym. I haven't seen Discovery this year. The only thing I know about them is they had Ride Out and now Ride Out is at Berkmar. But
I wouldn't be surprised though, just based off the history of that program, if they have some sleepers and they come in and take Marietta to the buzzer.
I feel like it's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to win this game, Marietta's got to play great.
Yeah.
In all phases of the game.
Yeah. Marietta didn't shoot the ball that well last game either.
No.
So, playing and like I said, we don't necessarily know much about Discovery, but it's another opportunity for them to showcase what they can do. But if Marietta doesn't shoot the ball as well as they did, the other night, then they could also be in for a long day too.
Could be problematic.
Yeah.
I mean, Discovery is one of those, they have a program. They just don't have a team. They have a program. So you kind of know the level that you're going to see no matter what. And I agree. It could be a tough day for the whole school. But you gotta go out there. You got to execute.
They got to make shots.
Got to execute. You got to make shots. You got to run your stuff.
Use the big.
For sure. Yes. Warner Robins versus Lanier in that 3:30 matchup. Another very good game early in the day. Warner Robins got to see if they can get over the hump. You got to see, it's tough. I think Greg is averaging 25 or something a game. It's tough when you take that off the board, but Warner Robins going to have to figure it out against a very tough Lanier team.
I think Lanier came out a little slow and again against Evans, and I think that won't happen again. That won't happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Lanier in that one.
I agree. We'll get to the second session. We got Parkview versus Tri-Cities. I'm taking Tri-Cities, just too tough.
Yeah. Tri-Cities they have senior guards and they have junior guards that are really good. Simeon Cottle, Devon Cottle, and then your boy that's going to Vanderbilt. They're gonna be tough.
Payne Daniels. Too much Payne Daniels.
Yeah.
Too much defense. Able to finish inside. Too much length. I think the game will be good. I think the game will be close. I think Parkview is going to fight. We know what type of team they are. But I think in the end, Tri-Cities is just going to be too much. Meadow Creek River Ridge is going to be a sneaky good game.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if this game is an overtime game. I would not be shocked if this game comes down to whoever has the ball in the final possession.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a really good game.
Well, I think it's gonna, and I've seen Meadow Creek before a couple weeks ago. I think it's gonna depend on how well their guards play, and if River Ridge contains their guards and their penetration, and forces them to shoot tough shots and jump shots. And if that's the case, if they do, River Ridge probably get to take that one.
I agree. River Ridge also has a lot of size inside. You're talking about a 6'10" kid in Braden Pierce. Then you got another 6'8", 6'9" kid. Jackson Head is back and will be playing in this game. So it's more size on that front line. They're going to rebound the ball well. So, like you said, I think it's going to depend. Can they force Meadow Creek into taking tough jump shots and corral the rebound and then run their stuff on the other end? But I think that's one of the best games of the night.
Yeah,
Meadow Creek and River Ridge. Miller Grove versus McEachern.
Good one.
Do we consider Miller Grove, even with all their championships, do we consider them in this same class? I don't feel like we talk about them as much.
What do you mean the same class?
As McEachern.
In the past?
McEachern has less championships.
In the past, we have. I mean, just recently we haven't, but I think in the years before, yeah, of course.
Do we need to put some respect on on the Cal game?
They're going to have to win today.
If they would.
I honestly, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, at least Bryce telling you what you got to do. You can't be mad at that.
If they come in here and they beat McEachern with Randy Brady and Bobby and Cam McDowell, put some respect on their name.
Put some respect on their name. Okay, Miller Grove here.
I'm going with McEachern. Going McEachern.
Hey, well, here it is, right? Miller Grove, DeKalb County. You want the respect. Mm-hmm. We brought your teams into this event. You have great matchups up and down the board. I look at them the same way I look at the Augusta area teams, right? Now you got to go do it.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no excuse. If you win, you're famous. You know what I mean? If you win, you get the respect. Maybe it shouldn't come down to that. You think Jair
going to go for 30 against McEachern?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
30? 30. He could go for 30 and still lose.
30 is hard to do, right? No matter what. 30 is hard to do. Could I say he could get 20 plus against McEachern? I don't see why not.
Yeah, he probably can get 20, but you have to get 20 and then you have to defend them and stop them from getting 20.
That's tough. You have to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough. But a great game. You're right. They Miller Grove made a state championship made it to the state championship without Sherman White. I'm only pointing out the obvious, that their name, not saying that their name shouldn't be in the discussion. I'm just saying that it's not as often as it
not as much as it used to be. But
this game helps.
This game will propel them. This game can get them over the hump for sure.
You need matchups.
Yeah.
You need matchups to stay in a conversation. I think this game helps. Eagles Landing versus East Coweta. I'm taking Coweta.
I'm going to go with that.
Then we're at Norcross Evans. Do you care to make a prediction?
This is a tough one because I'm not sure how.
He don't want to say it.
I'm not sure how.
He don't want to say it.
I'm not sure how these guys are going to respond for a primetime game against Norcross when the lights are on.
Yeah.
Now they did
Who
that.
Gets out of character?
Yeah.
Is it the vets
Honestly,
that Evans has, or is it the young guys?
As
that Norcross
much as I like the young guys from Evans, and I like where their future is, I'm going with Norcross.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Not me, buddy. Not me. Evans, listen.
I'm going with Norcross.
Evans,
Because all you have to do, I mean, if you're Norcross, you're going to go back and watch that film from when they played Lanier, and you're going to see, okay, well, let me make sure I get down to the threes. Now, Evans did a great job of, they run in transition, they run to the corners, and they find the corner, and they knock down that shot.
Lanier didn't see the scouting report.
Nah. Or maybe they didn't have one. Yeah, they didn't see it.
Or maybe they don't shoot like that every time.
They probably do. They were shooting the ball.
It looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good.
They were stroking it. Yeah, they were shooting the ball pretty well.
I'm going with Evans. I love an underdog.
Okay.
And I don't know how much of an underdog Evans really is when I look at the pieces that they have. But again, you have to, hey man, if you want to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And you gotta match up with the man.
Yeah.
You gotta match up with somebody that everybody respects. Love, like, or hate. Everybody has to respect what Norcross is.
I'm going Norcross just off.
And you got the matchup. Now Evans, you got to do something with it. And I'm picking you.
Evans gonna come out here and they're gonna go at him. It's gonna be a good one. I'm telling you, that's gonna be the one to see.
It's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be the one to see.
My question, and to me, this is the most vital thing for Norcross that I want to see. What's my man name? Jaden
Harris.
Jaden Harris.
Yeah.
He's gonna take away someone offensively.
Yeah. All you gotta do,
But which one do you guard? Does Jaden Harris take Mincy? Does he take Rashad?
I think Jaden's probably got to guard Rashad. You got to take him away, and then you put one of your other guards on Mincy. Not even. You
might
know
be
what?
a tough night.
You know, the thing is,
might be a tough night.
What you want to do is not allow them to get those threes off.
Yeah, got to run
so
off the line.
If you can put somebody on Mincy that just can contain him, and then you get somebody on the other wing on the guards, and as long as they don't shoot all those threes, Norcross is going to win.
My money at Norcross, if you want to win, you got to take out the head of the snake. You got to put Jaden Harris on Mincy in critical possessions.
Critical possessions, yeah.
Right?
But the head of the snake is really Rashad King.
I can see it.
Even though, like I said, he did.
He's the most talented player.
He's the most talented.
He is the most talented player
for
sure.
Yeah.
Hey, well, that's our show. We'll have periodic check-ins with you guys throughout the day. We may have some special guests for you. But until then, we're going to run over to the gym and catch the tip-off of this Grovetown Heritage game. So, man, y'all check it out. Check it out on SUV TV. Bryce is going to be doing color commentary. I'll be giving support and background vocals. But y'all check us out, man. It's the love of the game. We out.